everybody. Welcome to On the Edge of Entertainment, where I get to talk to my favorite friends from Las Vegas and around the globe about their lives in the entertainment business and what they're up to. And today I've got somebody from way far away. I think it's a 27-hour flight in Melbourne, Australia. Welcome, Simay Argento.
Hi.
Good, good. I had a brain lapse for a second. I'm like, oh God, did I say it right?
No, you did. I'm glad you did. Not many people say it. I'm like, oh, yes.
I know. Well, so Simay is this very exotic actress, dancer, musical performer that I have been following, and she's been following me, and we've been kind of staying in touch with what each other is doing. And my show, Legends in Concert, goes over to the what is it? The Crown.
Yeah,
Crown.
the Palms of the Crown. Yeah, every year they come to Melbourne, Australia, and I hang out with them backstage and I interviewed them, I think this January. Yeah, it was this year in January. So it was really
Okay, so
awesome.
you interviewed them.
Yeah,
And I've never gotten to go, and I keep asking them if I can go, but they keep sending me on a ship instead. But anyway, haven't gotten over there to see you in person, but it's really nice to have you like this, and we're doing this interview. So I just want to tell you all about Simay and all the wonderful things that she does. First of all, I was looking on your Instagram, and you have 11,000 or more followers just on one side of yours, because you've got so many fans with some things that you're doing as an actress, and also this unique character that you get to play. It's a DC Comics character, Catwoman. And explain to me how you are the Catwoman in
yeah.
Australia.
Okay, so basically, it's been about, I think, 5 or 6 years now. I received a phone call from one of my friends, and they said to me, Simay, we're going down to Supernova. Would you like to come with us? And I said, the hell's a supernova? I had no idea what he was talking about. He's like, oh, it's this big, massive event, and it's a convention place where they pack it out, and they've got stalls and this and that, and you dress up as your favorite character or superhero. And I thought, okay, sounds pretty cool. So obviously I didn't have enough time to get something together because it was so last minute. So I thought, well, I've always loved Batman since I was a little kid, like most people, and I've always loved Michelle Pfeiffer as an actress, but as the
Yes.
Catwoman, she was one of my favorites. So growing up as a little girl, I was born in 87, growing up in the 80s, early 90s, it was kind of something that stuck with me, watching Batman. And I just thought maybe I can do something as Catwoman, but I didn't have the right outfit at the time. So I just wore whatever I had at home. And it was like a one piece, I think a cat suit that my mum had kept from back in the days. And I wore that, and that just kind of went well for the day. And I went to this event, and I was freaked out. I walked around and went, wow, 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 wow. I didn't know where to look. My eyes were everywhere. It was just very different. I've never been to anything like this. I had no idea what Supernova was. And just from there onwards, I kind of wanted to better the costume of Catwoman and the character and the role. And I thought, okay, well, now I've got an idea and a taste of what these events are like, because there's Comic-Con in Melbourne, Australia, and all other states, obviously, and it all comes from America, I'm aware. And they do the Supernova, and they do all sorts of other cosplay-related events. So I started working slowly on modifying the costume from what I had. And basically with what I've got now, I've done it for about 5 or 6 years. It's just a leather corset, which is the main outfit. I do 3 or 4 different types of changes, but it's a leather corset. It's got chains.
I'm gonna can I show them
Yeah,
your Catwoman
yeah, of course.
site? I can share
Yeah,
the screen right now while you're talking, and then maybe you can explain some of this stuff.
yeah, of course.
Okay, so I've got your Instagram Catwoman. It's called Simay Argento Catwoman cosplay, part of your site. With, I think this is the one, oh, this one you have 7,000 followers, but on another one you have 11,000. You have crazy amount of followers. I love it. Okay, so here it is. Can you see it?
I can see it.
Okay, tell me where to scroll and what to talk
Okay,
about.
so that one, right up the top, or even on the bottom where it's got the neon writing. So pretty much that's the leather corset that I was explaining. So that's the main costume that I wear. So it's leather. It's got chains and it laces up at the back and it's quite tight, but it's a
Mm-hmm.
really good feel and fit once it's on. So that's the main one I wear with the mask.
Mm-hmm.
The neck piece I've designed, Mum helped me with it. It's just a bit of fur around the neck collar. The gloves is Mum's, and she just added fur on the bottom, obviously where the wrists are. And I just wear a pair of black leather slacks, and I wear really chunky platforms with the outfit. And I pretty much just use the whip and the mask. And I've added a little bit of, if you can see the ears on the Catwoman mask, you can see a little bit of fur that I've
Oh,
put on the
yeah.
ears as well. Yeah,
So
just
cute.
to kind of, yeah, just to make it a bit more catty. So that's all my costume. I haven't copied. I haven't seen anyone that's worn what I've got. I wanted to do it a little bit more different. I wanted it to be unique. I didn't want to be a copy or anything of anyone else because you see a lot of doubles of these costumes and characters when you go to these events. And, it's good. You see a lot of people, making effort, and I appreciate all that from the
Mm-hmm.
artist side of things. But I didn't want to be the same as seeing that one, that one, that one. There's just too many. And I thought if I do something a little bit different, it will be a little bit more, appealing and unique
Mm-hmm.
in a nice way. So I've done that for about, I think I've done cosplaying for about 5 or 6 years now in total. And I've done a lot of events with Comic Con here in Melbourne. I know you guys have it down in San Diego in America.
Yeah, we have it. Yeah, I guess I don't know what part of California. I guess it is San Diego.
Yeah, so they do it in San Diego. I'm not sure if there's any other parts of America, but it's quite popular and big here. It's pretty huge. So every year in Australia, you've got Melbourne, Perth, Adelaide, Sydney, Queensland, all the different states.
And do you
And
go around to all of them?
I only went to my first interstate cosplay event, and that would have been, I think, last November. So that was with a friend of mine that's also a cosplay character, and he does the Nightwolf character from Mortal Kombat. So we spoke and we said, look, why don't we go down to Adelaide and see how we go? Because what happens is with these events, they don't always bring down celebrities and artists to Melbourne. Sometimes the big ones or the ones that you like, they might be going to a different state and they'll
Mm-hmm.
bring down other artists, of course, but it might not be the one that you know or that you like. And it just depends on how it works. So unfortunately, for that particular event, the artists that I liked, they all happened to be in Adelaide. And I said, oh, if I don't go to Adelaide, I'm scared I'm going to miss out. I'm never going to meet them. Like, I follow the Vampire Diaries. I have to go. So I rang my
Yeah.
manager, let's get the tickets ready. We've got to get on the plane. We've got to go. And he's like, all right, we'll do it. And I'm like, what if I put the whip and everything in the bag when I get pulled over? He's like, no, you'll be right. I'm like, okay. So it was really, really fun. We had an absolute ball. We hopped on the plane. We went there for the weekend. We just really, really enjoyed ourselves for the first interstate trip and just gave us an idea of what it would be like if we went to Queensland and Perth and all these other states. So I really, really enjoyed it. And then not long after, believe it or not, the artist that we met, that we had photos taken with, they happens to come to Melbourne not long after. And I went, I'm like, after
Uh,
all that, yeah, I'm like, if I had known.
oh man. Oh
Yeah,
man.
so it was pretty intense. But no, it was really, really fun. I'm really glad that I experienced that and we did that because it was something I've never done for a cosplay trip. And we had a small hotel where we hired and we just relaxed a lot while we were up there too. I thought, while we're here, let's do what we got to do. But on the day that we have to ourselves, we'll just make the most of it and go walking and seeing around, Adelaide. And Adelaide's beautiful, like beautiful beaches. And
Mm-hmm.
definitely, I would love to, yeah, fly to say maybe Queensland next time or somewhere else.
Mm-hmm. Well, I want everybody to notice that in the background, right behind you, are your wigs and masks and stuff.
Yeah, yes, that's the only place I can hang it. It's the long blonde Catwoman wig, and I've got the mask on top of it. And I've just got a lot of other masks that I use and wigs just for other shoots, just for random concept shoots. And yeah, I've even bought a Black Panther. I don't know if you've seen the film Black Panther. Have you seen
Yeah.
it?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I loved it. It was absolutely amazing. I bought one of the masks from the movie that I haven't
Cool.
used yet, just sitting up there. But I
Nice.
found Supernova and I went in Catwoman. I looked at Black Panther and I'm like, can you please get me the mask? And he's like, Black Panther. I'm like, uh-huh. And he's like, sold. And I'm like, oh wow, that was like the last one.
Oh my gosh, that's great. That's great. And tell me, do you actually use the bullwhip? Do you know how to use it?
So with the whip, I'm not professionally trained with it just yet. I mean, I played around with it just to get the feel of it. It is quite heavy on the handle because it's authentic and it's real.
Mm-hmm.
My brother actually bought that for me as a gift online for my birthday 2 years ago. So not professionally, I don't know how to use it, but I just know how to hold it correctly and how to pose morely with it for photo shoots
Mm-hmm.
and,
Mm-hmm.
meet and
Because
greet
you
and all
could
that kind of
have a
thing.
whole act in Las Vegas with that.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, you probably could. I mean, everybody else comes to Vegas, you might as well. I mean, right now we have no idea what's going on,
Well,
but
it's funny you said that because Legends in Concert, I'm really close with them. Like I follow them and I'm in contact with them through social media. And I know a lot of the people in the show because obviously, I interviewed them
yeah.
and I've always gone and watched them every time they've come to Melbourne. And
Mm-hmm.
I've become friends with them on, Facebook and Instagram. And one of my friends, I think he's the music composer or director of the production, George, I think it is.
George Sapphire?
Yes, yes, he's so
Yeah.
lovely. And every time he comes to Melbourne, we all get together and we try to have a drink or a coffee after the show or in between. And, we always keep in contact. So I'm just so grateful that I've got so many beautiful friends in America and in Vegas that
Yeah.
are
Come on
talented. They're
down. That's where
talented.
I am.
Definitely, definitely. And I'm planning to. Like, I really wanted to come this year, obviously. Like, I had hopes for November. I was shooting in October, November, but out the window that went again. So, I'm just hoping and praying that sometime next year when all this settles, international flying will resume and everything will be safe. And yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
can try and get down there. So if I can, I'll definitely come to Vegas and I'd love to see you guys perform and hang out with you all.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, and likewise, anytime I'm in Australia. I've
Mhm.
never been, but I'm
Definitely.
dying to
Oh, wow,
go.
really?
I've never been. So I can't
Oh,
wait. Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
Oh, well, definitely. If you ever come to Melbourne, you can just give me a call and I'll take you around town and I'll show you the city and you'll absolutely love it. A lot of people feel that Melbourne is a lot of like, I think they said New York. It resembles a lot of New
Oh,
York or
okay.
Manhattan.
Oh,
Yes, they
I
feel
love New
really
York
upfront.
too. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
we're completely across the country from New York as well. So New York is really a treat for me as well.
awesome.
Yeah. So you were talking a lot about your mom, and I know that your folks are into entertainment as well, right?
So it's my dad. I grew up as a little girl. So dad was an entertainer back in the day when I was little, and he was very versatile. So very similar to what I do. Obviously, he did more fire eating. He did a lot of martial arts in his background. He did voiceovers, miming, dancing a lot more than anything, and a bit of acting. So he had, his little business cards that he kept, and he's got all these black and white headshots and photo albums with plastic covers
Uh,
over in the garage. And I've got videotapes on VHS of him doing, his scenes in. There was one show back in Melbourne, Australia, back in the 80s. It was very popular. I think it was called Special Squad, and I've already used this clip on Facebook and Instagram about 2 years ago. And it's just his main scene of him playing his role. So he had a bit of dialogue, and he said that was his biggest thing he ever did, I think. So I grew up around that all my life, and more than anything, I did dancing, more than acting. I didn't do no acting as a child, didn't do any singing. It was just always dancing. I did jazz schools. I went from that one to that one,
hmm
and I just loved it. I always loved music. I loved, watching video hits and Rage and all these artists on TV on Saturday morning and copying them and grabbing the remote and, and acting like a total clown that I am. So it was just part of me as a young girl, I guess. And mum said to me when she was pregnant to me that every time, Michael Jackson came on or music that I would kick. And she goes, you were just a very happy child. So I think it kind of stuck with me. And, as I've gotten older, obviously, I continued dancing from I think from teen till about my adult years. And then from 21 onwards, I still performed. I did a lot of dancing. I went to school. I did 2 years of schooling at APO Arts Academy, which is in Melbourne. I did musical theatre and I absolutely loved it because I love the acting, the singing and the dancing all together.
Yes,
So
that's what I
then,
love.
yeah, I love it. Absolutely. Like I love all the Broadway shows like Cats and what's the other ones? Jersey Boys and
hmm
all these amazing Broadway shows. Chicago, I love them all. It's all me. I love everything about it. So I just
Cool.
did that for a bit. And then I thought I want to expand and incorporate while I'm doing the dancing, a bit of the acting, I guess. And that's where I looked into some acting schools and I did 2 years at Peter Callis's Melbourne Actors Lab, which is in Melbourne again, and it's one of
Mm-hmm.
the best schools in Melbourne. And yeah, I just started from there. I just went up with a talent agency and I joined up with them, and I was with them for about 3 years, my first one that I started with. And I just started getting some work nice and slowly with the acting. So just to see how things roll and to gain experience and to be on set and to know how it all works. And then from there, I started doing a bit of, international films, feature films, short films. I did a lot of extras work on Neighbours, which is a huge Melbourne production in Australia. And
Nice.
I've worked on a few various shows. Yeah, so it's all on my IMDb link. I've got all my film credits and everything on there. But I just really wanted to, yeah, just broaden my field and just sort of incorporate and do more than one and not just be limited. As you know, as an artist
Yeah.
yourself,
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. The more you know how to
yeah,
do, the more work you get.
yeah, pretty much, yeah. So
You know.
I'll give it a shot, and I did that. And yeah, I'm just so grateful. Like over the last, say, 5, 6 years, it's been a blessing. Like I've worked with so many amazing people. I'm grateful. I've been given a lot of, amazing opportunities. They've all looked after me. Every film set I've worked on, I've had an amazing time. Like I can't even think of one that I haven't. It's just really, really a nice feeling to do what you love, whether it's being on stage with the lights and doing dancing or filming or cosplaying or hugging the kids and getting a photo with them or anything that you love doing. It's just a really rewarding feeling.
It really is. And I think as artists and entertainers, we're really blessed to be able to do what we do and more so to actually get paid for it. It's we're very lucky for that it's
Yeah.
available to us that way. And now we
Mhm.
have to invent it more in a video format.
I know, but hopefully this is just temporary and we can sort of get back to normality, which is I like to call it, very soon. But yeah.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope so. So have you got to travel much to the States for work?
No, so I haven't been to America at all just yet. I was planning to come this year, as I mentioned earlier, but because of the COVID-19 situation, it's just put everything off. But I wanted to get there a couple of years ago, and I couldn't due to circumstances. But it's always been at the back of my head. I've always wanted to go to, LA, Vegas, San Francisco if I have time, New Orleans, New York, Manhattan, just all the main places. And there's a lot of reasons why I want to come there, obviously, through amazing countries, because firstly, I've always loved America since I was a little girl. I mean, I'm brought up in Australia, obviously, and I'm proud to be Australian, but I grew up idolizing James Dean and Elvis and Marilyn Monroe and all the, classic Hollywood
I would
actors.
love Las Vegas.
Yeah, yeah.
I think Las Vegas is for you. I see Vegas in your future.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Well, it's funny you said that because I've actually got a canvas that I bought from the Reject Shop here in Melbourne, and it's got Welcome to Las Vegas, and it's a massive canvas, and it's the only one left, and it kept staring at me as I was walking past the shop, and I've gone back a week later, and I'm like, is it still there? I'm like, is that canvas still there? And I went up to the lady. I'm like, is that the last one? She goes, yes, it is. And I'm like, how much is it? She said, I think it was like $40 or $50. And I'm like, just grab it down for me. I'm taking it. So I felt like that was like a sign because it was just staring at me a week later, still in the same spot, still in the same rack on the shelf. And I grabbed it. And I've got my Legends in Concert blue ribbon banner that Kevin Mills gave me.
Kevin.
Yeah, when he was performing, and I put it over the canvas. So that's my little Las
Aw.
Vegas little
Aw.
corner I have.
Except for
So
Kevin doesn't
yeah.
work in Las Vegas. I mean, he does sometimes, but he lives way out in Toronto,
Oh wow.
and he does all the East Coast, Legends gigs. I
Yeah.
mean, I can't say he doesn't. I'm sure he does on occasion, but yeah, we have a lot of Elvises. But he's lucky enough
Look,
to do the Australia one, so.
they're beautiful. They all are, like all of the artists that have come down. I don't know all their names off by heart because I haven't met them all in person, but the ones that I'm familiar with that I got to interview, that I've become
Hmm.
friends with, they've all been absolutely wonderful and amazing. And each time they come to Melbourne, they're always lovely. They talk about Melbourne and Australia so highly, and they say, Australia's a beautiful country, and we always look forward to coming here. We feel like we're at home. You've got a
Yeah.
beautiful city. The people are welcoming. They're warm. They really make you feel at home, and we always look forward to coming here. So it makes me feel really, really good when I hear that, because I know how hard it is for these guys, because you all work nonstop. You all have shows
Mm-hmm.
booked out like twice a day for 2 weeks
Mm-hmm.
straight. So
Mm-hmm.
I know what the process is, but it's really nice to hear that they love our city and they're really comfortable here. So
Oh
I'm planning
yeah.
to get there.
Yeah, it's I think when we talked a couple of years ago, I'm not sure if they had been yet or if they had just gone, and you said, I think I just heard about that show. I'm going to go see it. And so now I'm hearing the end of the story, which you have gone to
Yeah,
see it. Now you've
yeah,
met all my friends and the people that
yeah.
I work with. So that's pretty cool. I was actually supposed to be in Legends in Concert right now in Las Vegas, June
Mm,
28th to October 15th as Gwen Stefani.
because of COVID, because of the
Yeah.
situation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's completely closed, the whole hotel and everything. Um, yeah, the theater shows are probably not going to open this year. I don't know. And I think they've sort of gone back to some more restrictions this week because after our 4th of July celebration and all the protests and different things, I think that things have gotten a little bit out of hand again. But Vegas overall has been handling this very well, surprisingly, being such an international state. People flying in from everywhere. It's pretty amazing to see that we're holding it together. You know.
I'm so glad to hear that, because, like I was saying earlier, I know all the cities are handling and dealing with it differently. And I know some cities don't have many cases, or they're a lot better than others, or some are doing a lot better. But here in Melbourne, we're going through a lot of, things as well. It's just 1 minute it's this, 1 minute it's that. Are we going left? Are we going right? Is it open? Is it closed? Like everything's just, and people are feeling very mixed up and confused, and people are frustrated, and there's a lot of tension, and we're all aggravated, and we're worried, of course, and we're concerned. And all my friends that live in Australia that are producers, directors, dancers, singers, musicians, makeup artists, photographers, screenwriters, whatever you want to call it, they've all been affected in some way or another. We're all trying to keep in contact with everyone, see if they're okay, reach out to them, try and support their business or do what we can, make a call and say, are you okay? Do you need anything? Because it
Mm-hmm.
really is a tough times for everyone. And like I was saying earlier, everyone feels like something has been taken away from them because they work so hard at what they do. And it's just heartbreaking, because for the last 3-4 months, everything was shut here in Melbourne. And we did, a lot of renovations for businesses to help keep it more cleaner, more safer. And
Mm-hmm.
people would, install new equipment perhaps in a gyms, as an example, or they would do more thorough cleaning, and they would do whatever they could to meet the requirements. And then they opened for about a week, and now it's just reshut again for another 6 weeks as we went into lockdown. So
Oh, really? You went into lockdown
yeah,
again?
yeah,
Well,
Victoria, Melbourne.
I don't know if it makes you feel any better. It kind of makes me feel better knowing that um, somewhere way far away is kind of experiencing the same thing. I mean, I definitely don't wish it on anybody, but it makes me feel a little bit better. Like, wow, this is happening everywhere, and and it's affecting the entertainment business industry really bad. Vegas is all about the entertainment industry. Everybody that comes here is coming here to have joy of some kind, and we're all out of work. So, we're making our way. We're trying other things, and I think it's a great time to expand your horizons, to get more creative, to learn more technology, and become more proficient at promoting yourself in other ways. And that's my advice to everybody, and I'd love to hear yours.
Well, look, all I can say is pretty much we're all in this together, and a lot of people have been saying the same thing, but we really are. And for those that are affected in the arts and entertainment industry, as well as fitness related with bodybuilding and gyms and all that kind of recreational field, we just need to stay focused. We need to be strong and just be, I think, preoccupied with anything else we can do at the moment. So if you have a day job, perhaps, if you're working, that's good. Some people have that
Mm-hmm.
option because of whatever reason. Some people don't. If you're working from home or you've been sent home, work from home, keep busy, keep productive. The worst thing I think that can happen is when you let yourself go and you start falling into that dark, deep hole,
Mm-hmm.
and you start feeling like you're going through like a depression phase. And it will happen because obviously we're all stressed and everything's been affected, but you really need to make sure up here that you're stronger than that, because I think that's the hardest thing. Some people mentally don't have that willpower, and I think if you can try and beat that, you'll be okay. And getting outdoors is really important. Like, if you can go for a walk, if you're allowed to, go for a walk, get some fresh air. Don't lock yourself inside like a bird in a cage. Don't be
No,
cooped up.
exactly. I mean, just sitting on a rock outside,
Yeah,
or
yeah,
I go out in the morning and I stretch and do yoga
yep,
just
yep,
because I need to get outside at some point,
yep,
you know?
yep,
And what's really been great for me is to chat with friends via Zoom, video, so that at least it's kind of like the second form of being face to face. At least I
yeah,
can see you, I can see your expressions. We could even, have a coffee together, and
yeah.
and it just makes life feel a little bit real that way. And this format that I've been doing has been really amazing to keep my sanity. And like we were talking about before we started recording, just the act of putting on makeup, dressing up, and feeling like you're normal,
Yeah.
that's good for people. So
Yeah, no, look, I think we'll be okay. I think we'll get through this. We just need to really, really hang in there. As long as we can all support each other and we can all reach out. If you've got that 2 spare minute in your day, pick up the phone and just ring that friend and say, "Are you okay? How's things going? How's the family? Do you need anything?" Just make that call, that SMS, just to touch base and see if people are okay, because I think that little thought would mean more than anything to a lot of people. And I know a lot of people are doing it hard, and a lot of people are, doing it tough, more than myself, maybe even you. Some people
yeah.
probably have lost their jobs. Some people don't have a roof over their heads. Some people can't afford to buy food. And that really hurts me more than anything. And when I think of those things and I say, wow, I'm so grateful I've got a roof over my head. I've got a home. I've got a good family. I've got food. I can get to work because I work during the day. I'm so grateful and appreciative for the little small things. And it makes me feel better because everyone is so down at the moment, and a lot of people are struggling really, really hard, and it's just so heartbreaking. But we're all trying to do our bit and our part to make a difference, or to do anything we can, really, whether it's a call or an SMS or donate or promote people's businesses or do a shout out on social media, or
Mm-hmm.
to talk about someone highly, to help them get, maybe, I don't know, recognition or whatever it is. Like, anything you
Mm-hmm.
can do, I think that would be really good in these tough situations and times. So
Yeah, that's really good advice. And the only thing I would add is what you also said was, to be thankful for what you have,
yeah,
because even if it's lacking, it could be
hmm,
worse, right?
yeah,
It can always be worse. So
hmm,
if you're thankful, then you will draw good things in to yourself,
definitely,
you know.
100%.
And if you
Yeah,
give, right, if you give to others, you'll get it back as well.
of course, 100%. It's all about being positive and having a good aura and persona about yourself and your personality. And I think if you're a good aura in a spirit form, and you give a lot of love, and you're a love child, is what I like to call it, I think that love will come back to you naturally. You don't have to enforce that. It just comes to you. It's like a drawn thing. So I think if you are full of love as a person, you're caring, you're compassionate, and you're real and sincere and humble and down to earth and all that, I think everything will come back to you. It's not something that has to be forced. And I think a lot of people need that right now more than ever. And in a way, I guess, I was thinking about this the other day, thinking about the whole COVID thing. I was saying, in a way that this has happened, it's not good, of course, because it's done a lot of damage. But in another way, it is, because I think it's opened everyone's perspective and eyes. So it's
Yes.
making everyone realize we are all human at the end of the day. It doesn't
Mm-hmm.
matter who's got what money, who's got what house, who drives what car, what religion you are, or what ethnicity or background. It doesn't matter any of that, because everyone has been affected in this, and we are all human at the end of the day. So
Mm-hmm.
I just hope and pray that a lot of, the people that weren't appreciative before have now woken up and have now realized of what's happened, how important we are as, humankind. And maybe they can all learn from this, and we can all kind of be better humans, together.
Absolutely. I think there is somewhat of a recognition of what reality is. And I know this doesn't seem like reality, but it sort of brings our scope a little tighter, like, oh, reality, this can happen. This crazy unknown thing can happen, and we
Yeah.
still have to sort of get through the day and
Mhm.
still be the good person, giving and uh, trying to stay positive. So I'm glad that we brought this up. I I wasn't expecting, to talk about this stuff, but I feel like everything happens for a reason, and every person that I've talked to has been someone that says something that I also truly believe in, and it's really interesting to see the process happen. It's like drawing in things that are similar to what your beliefs are, you know?
Of course. Yep.
So thank you for that. Who would have known somebody from Melbourne would have and I know you and I have wanted to like chat for so long. We've sort of text back and forth via Messenger. And it's really cool to finally meet you. And
I'm so
I
glad.
knew I would love you. You're amazing.
I appreciate you having me on board, and I told you that I've been more than happy to do this with you. And like I said, it's a great opportunity because we get to do the face to face. And I think you're an amazing performer. I see all your work. You go from Gwen to Gaga to Madonna, and I'm like, wow, I'm like she's amazing. And I love all the legends and concert artists and all the people that are involved. I think they're very, very talented, and I know they've been around a long, long time. My dad's got a catalog somewhere in the house, and I think it's from 1986 or
Oh,
84.
really?
Legends in concert. Yeah, it's a really old catalog, and it's got a jukebox on the front cover with some of the artists, and you just flip through the pages, and it just shows photos, and it has a lot of writing about the production, and it's amazing. He's kept it. I'm like, wow.
That's crazy, but that's kind of symbiotic as well. I think we're like sisters in another universe because I have that book as well, and it comes from me traveling from my hometown to
Yeah.
California, and Nevada's in between, and I used to go to the show as a kid, and I used to
Wow.
watch Legends in concert, and I got one of those programs at some point, and I have it
That's
lying around here as well.
That is amazing. That's incredible. It's always a sign, I think, when something like that happens, where if it's a catalog or the canvas that I explained earlier, or it's something that's letting you know that it's either meant to be or something good's going to happen. So that's really incredible.
Yeah, I mean, this will be posted definitely throughout Las Vegas, and hopefully you'll post it in Australia as well, and spread
Oh,
the news about
definitely.
me and my program as well. And it's been really fabulous talking to you. I hope that we can stay in touch like this again. If you have some free time, we'll just chat. We'll
Yeah.
have a coffee.
Oh, you know what? Don't even worry about the coffee. We'll just get a whiskey or something. We'll just have a
Okay,
wine
I
or a
wasn't going to say it, but okay,
relax. Just having
happy
a nice
hour.
conversation.
The only problem with this idea, and I was thinking of it myself, is it's 6 or 7 p.m. here, and it's only 11 a.m. for you. So one of us is going to be um, drinking at the wrong time.
What we'll do is we'll organize a suitable time. I'm very flexible. If I'm not at my day job, I'm more than happy to work around you. I'm very easygoing like that. So if you say on a weekend perhaps or whatever day is suitable for you and I'm not working, we can do a video call and just have a glass or a champagne or something together and just sort of feel like we're doing that in person, but we're not. It's on a video call because you would normally do that when you meet someone. You would grab a
Exactly.
drink and
Yeah.
laugh and smile and relax and toast to it. So it just gives us more of that really feeling of liveness.
Yeah, and you know what? Maybe I'll invite some of the Legends girls, and we'll all chat. Do you remember Jasmine,
Great. Jasmine, yes, I do. She's
Whitney
absolutely
Houston?
amazing. Yep,
Yeah.
yep. I
So
follow her on Instagram. I met her. I met Kevin. I forgot the
did
Michael
you?
Jackson
Was it
tribute.
Damien?
Damien, I think.
Damien
Yeah, he's
and
amazing.
Did you meet Lori doing Tina Turner?
Yes, yes, I did. Yep,
Yeah,
he's
I
amazing.
can get
I
those
met
guys on online. Say hey.
um, Stevie Wonder. What was his name? Tina, was it? No.
I'm not sure. I think there's a newer person that I don't know.
Yeah.
It unless it was Ty. Was it
It
Ty?
wasn't this year. He came the last time, the last year. It was in
Oh, I
January
saw
last
him. I
year.
saw him in Vegas.
Yeah.
I don't know him personally.
Okay. Because they
Yeah.
swapped the artists around this year. They had a few. I think they had three or four this year, the same, but they swapped a few around. So I
Yeah.
noticed that. But I'm looking
Well,
forward to coming to Vegas. Like I can't
yeah.
wait. I can't wait to get to America in general. Like I want to. be based and stay in LA more than anything because there's a lot of things I want to do when I get there. But I definitely want to come to Vegas for about maybe 5 days or so, just to walk around, see everything,
Perfect.
see you guys perform, hang out. So yeah,
Hmm.
I'm really looking forward to it. But when all the time's right and everything's safe and ready to go, and international flying resumes, which I hope soon,
Ooh,
I'll
yeah.
definitely let you know and everyone, and I'll be on that plane and I'll be out of here. So
All right. Sounds good. I'm looking forward to it. And thank you again so much. And it was so cool to speak to you. And
likewise.
yeah, so
Well, you take care over there, and sending you all my love and light. And like I said, we will all get through this. I know it's going to be a long process, and I know, things are really hard at the moment, but there's always light at the end of the tunnel, is what I believe. So we just need to all stick together and hang in there and keep smiling, I think, more than anything.
yeah. Okay. Well, if not, we'll try to make each other laugh. Well,
I don't think that's going to be too hard.
all right. Sounds like a plan. Thanks so much, Simay.
You are welcome. Take care. It was lovely talking to you.
You too. Bye.
Bye.